And good morning, everybody. It's Dan. Hope you're well today. So welcome to the podcast. Today we're going to talk about how to stop playing small during this financial contraction. And if you've not noticed, everything's going to hell, isn't it? It seems. Everything is just all over the place. My goodness me. But it's fine, everybody. We've got a new Prime Minister. I'm sure she'll absolutely ruin everything, just like the last Prime Minister. So if that is the case, what are we going to do about it? And so one of the things I was thinking about just recently is what can we do to actually help as many people as possible kind of get through this, basically. What can we do? You know, we're a digital marketing agency, so we dropped a whole bunch of prices. We brought a whole recession buster package in just to help some people, and some people have taken advantage of that as well. But also we're going to up the level of content that we're actually putting out to try and see what we can do to help. So if you've got any questions, if you're stuck on something, let us know. We speak with a lot of people. We've been business coaching other businesses for a good 10, 15 years, and we're really good at coming up with solutions. So you've got a problem, let us know what it is, and we can probably help give you some advice on that. But in the meantime, let's just talk about what we can do to stop playing small, because what basically happens is that during a contraction, a lot of businesses, they actually start cutting costs. And obviously we understand that because they get less income coming in. But if all businesses are cutting costs, and especially your marketing budgets, then what's happening out there? Like, some businesses are going to go bust. What happens to their customers? Who's going to actually take on their customers? Nothing. Like, your competitors are going to take them on. And so if you actually increase the amount of marketing that you put out there, you've got an opportunity to go and steal other people's customers right now, because most businesses are contracting. And I always think when you're contracting, one of the biggest things that you should be doing, yes, cut all your other costs, but you should actually be increasing, you should be expanding your marketing, just because you've got an opportunity to go out and take market share effectively. It's one of the best times to, in fact, go out and take market share. But most people don't do that. They contract. And I'm not even saying that you have to spend a lot of money doing that. You know, I'm live here on YouTube and Twitter and LinkedIn and Facebook and several groups. And then this podcast will then go out on iTunes and Spotify and Amazon and all that other stuff. It's not cost me a penny, not cost me anything to expand our marketing and get ourselves in front of more people. And this is what we're saying you should be doing. So the first bit that you should do then really is that you've got to be seen more. Like, be everywhere all at once. And what do I mean by that? So you got to be on LinkedIn and Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and TikTok and Snapchat, and everywhere where you think your customers might be. That's where you've got to be. I'll give you an example of that. Years ago, we used to run our lettings agency, and we sold it in 2011, I think it was. But before we sold it, like, I spent the previous 10 years working on search engine optimization on that site. And this is obviously before we had Facebook and social media. So we had to do it old school. We would drop leaflets, we'd have stickered up cars, branded vehicles, and we would put, search engine optimization on everything that we did. We owned the front page of Google for a lot of our top search terms. And so I remember meeting up with a landlord, and I said, so what made you choose us rather than somebody else? And he said, Dan, I tell you what, every time I went somewhere, you guys were there. Every time you were in the newspaper, you had articles in the Yorkshire Post. I was even in the Telegraph at one point. I see your cars driving around. I see you on social media. Whatever I type in about Leeds, that's where you were. And so that's why I'm using you. And this is, the example of be everywhere all at once. And literally, as he was saying that, one of our cars happened to drive past. Just to kind of put an exclamation point on what he was saying about the fact that we were everywhere all at once. Obviously, it's different. It's 2022. You can be everywhere all at once. You don't have to put stickers on your cars. You don't have to drop 50,000 leaflets a month. Now you can be everywhere all at once on social media, but you've got to be putting out content. You've got to be reaching out to people via content, offering value and getting yourself known. Like, I see people coming into the live stream, for example, and they pop in and they pop off. They pop in and they pop off. And it's not the fact that you're going to have 200 people watching your live stream all at once all the way through. That's not the point. The point is that you're live and that people can see you. Oh, look, Dan's live again. Oh, look, Dan's live again. Oh, look, Dan's live. It's not even that they are going to keep watching everything that you do all at the same time, because they're busy too. Like, this is the bit that people kind of don't understand. You're busy. I get that you're busy. I'm busy. If you go live, I'm not sitting there watching your live. You know, we've got 3,500 friends on Facebook. I'm not sat there watching every person go live. Won't get anything done. And it's the same for you. You're not watching everybody go live. But the fact that I see that you've gone live shows me that this guy's in it to win it, you know? And it's like, you don't have to be in this situation where everybody's watching and getting all this massive engagement. That's not the point or the purpose of you going live and being everywhere all at once. It's the fact that you've gone live. It triggers in people's memory. Go, oh, look, Dan's live again. Oh, look, Dan's live again. Oh, look, there's Dan's podcast. There's Dan's YouTube video. There's Dan's long form copy. Like, it plays on the mind. So the next time that they go, I need someone to create my videos for me, who do you think they're going to use? They're going to use the guy that they keep seeing all the time. Why do you think Gary Vee has done so well? I'm going to share a screen, actually. Let me show you Gary Vee's. Let me just find him. Let me show you Gary Vee's YouTube and just show you exactly what I mean by this. Right. If anybody's crushing it, that's the name of Gary Vee's book. But if anyone is crushing it, it is Gary Vee. Let me just, I've never shared screen on this device. Let me try and do this properly. Here we go. Share screen. Okay, so this is Gary Vee's video. Okay, so here you can see all his videos. 10 hours ago, day ago, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, 3 days ago, 4 days ago, 4 days ago, 5. Like, he's putting out several pieces of content every single day. And so because he's putting out several bits of content every single day, people see it. Like, these are shorts, by the way. Shorts tend to get a lot of views, like 22,000. This is, I don't know if that's not a short, but 15,000, 31,000 for short, 24. So you notice that the shorts that he's got here, only 19 on that one, or 29 on that one. I mean, he's actually pretty consistent on getting a lot of views on all of his stuff, but he puts so much stuff out there. And one of the other things that he's doing right now is putting all these YouTube shorts on there, which is pretty amazing. And so this is the type of content you've got to be putting out there. You've got to be seeing all the time. And most people are not seeing at all. I'm not saying that you have to put 14 pieces of content out every single day like Gary Vee does. I'm saying that you've got to put a piece of content out a day, or at least a week. Most people aren't even doing that. Like, when we used to go live every single day, I won't say our phones ran off the hook, because we don't have phones. It's not how we operate as a business. But the number of leads that came through was vastly greater than me not going live. And obviously, over summer, it's much harder for me to go live every single day because we've got a family at home, wife's a school teacher, little ones around, and I feel really self-conscious about going live when they're around. They've just gone back to school today. So guess what we've done? Here we are, 9:20 Spanish time, 8:20. This is our first live of the day. You know what? We'll probably go live again, because we're going to be seen in many more places, because now we're into the grind again. Now it's September, as it is for you. And most people are like, okay, now we're going to work down to Christmas. No, we're working up to Christmas. You've got to be seen everywhere at all times. And so how do you do that? Well, we've got help for you. Obviously, we've got help for you. So this is what you need to be doing. First of all, you need yourself a blank piece of paper. Now, I actually don't use paper. There's my piece of paper. I actually use a spreadsheet. But a piece of paper is fine. I don't care what it is that you've got, as long as you get it. And then you grab a pen. And this is my, it was my gift from my daughter. This is a pen that I use for everything, by the way, from Aladdin. So, but what you want to be doing is you want to be writing down, like, your headlines. Like, give me 10 topics, 20 things that you're going to talk about. What are you going to talk about when you go live? Just write them down. And when you feel in the mood to go live, you go to your list of 100 topics, because that's really how many you want to be getting. You go to your list of 100 topics and you go, yeah, I fancy doing that one today. Like, just as I was getting my water, I was thinking about mindset, about how to keep going when you don't feel like it, because I didn't really feel like it this morning. And so I just did a few little things with my mind, right? And like, we should be sharing that, and you should be sharing that. What's the little hints and tips that you've got? And so anyway, you're going to get a list of 100 things. When you feel in the mood for talking about one of those things, then you go live about that. And then you don't only go live, but you write long form copy. You'll have noticed recently, if you're on my, especially if you're on my Facebook friends profile, I've been writing an awful lot of long form copy. And what we do is, and we'll probably create a video on this actually, but what we do is we write a long form copy. It gets a lot of engagement, does long form copy, much more engagement than videos, believe it or not, because people don't watch videos with the sound on. Generally, 50% of them are with the sound off. But long form copy, you can read that anyway. You can read it on the tube. You can read it sat on the pot. You can read it in a queue at Burger King. You can read it anywhere. So long form copy works really well. We get a lot of engagement from that. But what we then do is, not only do we go live, but then we write this long form copy, and then we copy that. We go to WordPress, which is what our website's based on. We add a post, and then we copy and paste it. Now we've got a post. We find an image, we add an image onto it, and then we share all of that using Sendable, which puts it out onto Instagram and LinkedIn and Twitter. So now we've got this long form copy with a link back to the website, which is now driving traffic back to the website. So you should be going live. You should be doing long form copy. You should be converting the live, like this live, will get converted and go into our podcast. And our podcast will then go out onto Spotify, iTunes, Amazon. It goes onto LinkedIn. It goes onto all sorts of different places. And so we're then reusing some of the content that we've created to put onto other places. So we're not having to create content every single day. I don't go live on Twitter and then go live on LinkedIn. Like right now, we're live on all of those different places. But we then want to reutilize the audio by pulling out the audio, sticking it into a podcast, and then getting that out on iTunes. And I don't know how many we're up to, 800 podcasts? I don't know. I have no idea. We're in season 7 because we changed it up, and so we went into season 7. It's podcast 65 or something of this particular season. So we're reutilizing some of this content that we're putting out there. And then not only do we want to get the long form copy that we've written and posted on Facebook, and we've then taken and put it out onto WordPress, we then go to ActiveCampaign, which is what we use for our emails, and we copy that and we paste it into an email. Now, it may be that we send that email out the same day, but often we don't want to send emails out every day because you're going to get a large amount of unsubscribes. But we might add it onto the end of our automation. So we've got like 2 years worth of emails. So whenever I write an email, send it out, I also then add it onto the bottom of our email automation. So it's always adding more emails. So the emails that we add onto those automations are always time friendly. So you could read it today, you could read it in 3 years. It's not talking about today's stuff. It's just talking about general stuff that can be, it's not limited by what's going on in the world right now. Because it might be 3 years' time, it might be 8 years' time when someone actually gets to see that bit of content. But you should be creating more content across all these different platforms. And I'll tell you why. Some people love video. Like some people will watch video till the cows come home. Some people hate video. They love to read. Some people want infographics. Some people will read emails. Some people will listen to podcasts while they're getting on the Ryanair flight from Spain to the UK. That's what I used to do. I used to consume an awful lot of content, listening to podcasts. I used to fall asleep to Grant Cardone on the Benidorm Express from Alicante to Leeds quite often. And that's how I would actually consume a lot of content. I just listened to it till I fell asleep. It was like white noise, but I would be consuming content. But you've got to get this content plan, get your list of 100 headlines, 100 topics, 100 different things that you can talk about that's relevant. Just get writing. Doesn't matter if they're good or bad. You can cross them out if they're not very good. You don't have to do them. Just get the ideas down on paper. And then the next part then is about building your marketing and your sales funnel. And so what this means is that, you know, it starts with content. So for example, I don't think I can show you on this, add a source. No, I can't show you. Anyway, so what you would need to do is basically every sales funnel starts like this. You have all this content at the top, okay? And then people are coming into your sales funnel from your content. Like they're going to go to your website, they might fill in a form, they might download a free freebie or whatever it is that you've got to do. They might subscribe to you on YouTube or on Facebook. And if you're not subscribed, you should subscribe, by the way. But they're coming into the top of your funnel. Okay. Now you've got to build up this funnel. What is the customer going to do next after they've subscribed? What do you want them to do? What's the next easy step? So we want people to come and join our Facebook group. That's a really good place. People can come and ask me questions. We want people to engage. We want people to go to the website and download our free Facebook ads guide, which is on the website, by the way. Go take a look. So more than that, we want to build goodwill. We want to build KLT. We want people to know us. We want people to like us, and we want people to trust us. And we only do that by putting out consistent content or putting out content consistently. And so it starts with marketing, but it doesn't end with marketing. And that's where people kind of think that content, that, I just put as much content out and that's it. And that's not the be all end all. The be all end all is not putting out as much content as possible. The be all end all is getting closing a client. Let me just grab a quick drink. So the be all end all is actually closing a client in some way. Now, closing a client doesn't also necessarily mean you generate cash. Closing a client could be that they've just crossed the line. They've requested some information and now they're in your sales funnel. So it starts with marketing, sales funnel at the top. Then it goes into what do you want the customer to do next? Then it goes into some form of follow-up. So, for example, we use Active Campaign. If you subscribe to something, you go onto our email list, you start getting emails. Great. Then what happens is that when you click on something, like we put an email out last week saying about website design, it's a recession buster. It's a 3-page website for 197 quid because, the world's a mess right now. So we put out this website offer. Several people clicked on that. Quite a few more than several, actually. But several people clicked on it. And then once they've clicked on it, guess what happens? It comes up on my Active Campaign. Let's say these 8 people clicked on this. Brilliant. Guess what I do? I now follow up. Hey, Bob, I noticed you clicked on the £197 website offer. Do you want to jump on a call? Marketing, follow up. Now we're into a sales process. Now we're going to get them on a call. Okay, Bob, you're looking at this. Tell me more about your business. And then we find out more about what their business is, how we can match what we do and what we offer to what they need in their business. And if that's a match, guess what? We're going to close business. That's the sales process. So it all comes from building your marketing and sales funnel. And most businesses haven't got a marketing and sales funnel. It's just, well, I'll go live, and if someone says I want it, I'll sell them it. It's like, well, that's not a sales process. What's the actual process? Your process should be written down. Again, get a sheet of A4, write the boxes. What's it going to look like? So let me just show you this. Oh, you're not going to be able to see that, are you? This is your sales process right here. As basic as that. So they start, where do they start? They start here, they go here, they fill in a form. They start here, which is content. They fill in a form. They book a strategy call. You get a sale. That's it. That's your sales process. But write it down. Like that sales call. What are the questions that you're asking in that sales call? Like, it should be a very set process that's been consciously thought about. You might have 14, I was going to say 12, but there's a 12-step process for the Alcoholics Anonymous. I didn't want it to sound too similar. It might be 14 different things that you need to go through in order to get a client, right? And if you want to go through 9 of those things and you're wondering why your sales ain't working, it's because there's 14, but you haven't got them written down. And sometimes you do 9, sometimes you do 6, and sometimes you do 14. And so the times that you do 14, they're the ones that you sell. But you don't realize that because you've not got an actual sales process. So you've got to create your sales process. And then just the final part on this, you've got to start adding some kind of reporting system. How many strategy calls have you had this month? How many strategy calls did you have last month? So you've got to see what your results are. Then you've got to compare with your previous month. So how many website visitors did you have this month? How did that compare with website visitors last month? Is it increasing or is it decreasing? Which pages are getting the most visitors? Is that increasing or is that decreasing? How much content did you put out? So let's say it's website design. How much content did you put out for website design? And how did that interpret into how many people landed on that web page? And if you've got a special offer, do you need to increase the amount of social media posts for website design and cut back the number of social media posts for Facebook ads, for example? And we got an offer for that as well, which is £100 a week, including ad spend. But you see what I mean? You got to see what your results are. Then you've got to compare with. Now, it could be the previous month, or it could be the previous week. Whatever you want as a previous period, that's what it could be. So you've got to be able to see what the results are. What is the work that you've even put in before you even get to the results? Like when we work with clients, at the end of each month, they get an end of month report. And the first report is, this is what we've done for you. We've done these videos, we've done this email, we've created these images, we've sent this out, we've done this, blah, blah, blah. Like this long list of everything that we've done. The results from that are, and then here's your report. It talks about Google ads, talks about what your bounce rate is, where your leads have come from, or where your website visitors have come from, I should say. What's happened with your Facebook post? You're getting more engagement, you're getting less engagement. What's the best time of day to post? Which has been the most engaged post? So we have a whole bunch of reports that we go in depth about. We have a monthly meeting about these reports internally to go, okay, what was our best post? What's the best time to post? What's the best bit of content that we've put out? What's got the most engagement? All this is really useful data for you to be able to expand your business so that you're no longer worried about contracting as we're going towards this dreadful time in October and November for energy costs. You want to be able to get this data. Most people, unfortunately, are like that, stuck in the headlights, afraid to go this way or that way in case something bad happens. Look, if something bad's going to happen because of energy prices right now, there's not a lot you're going to be able to do about it. So you need to start taking action on the stuff that you can affect, not worry about the stuff that you can't affect. All right. I hope that is useful for you. We'll catch up with you on the next podcast. My name's Dan Latto. Have yourselves a wicked day. Take care.